Blessed, caressed, and couldn't be better. Until one day, because fate is fickle, one day, because fortune is cruel, his son falls into a terrible fever.
He's worse.
And they calls for quacks and apothecaries and healers, and soon the boy's room is full with grey beards and shaking of heads. But still the fever rages, and the boy passes into a swoon. And oh dear, the grey beards are replaced by priests mumbling and praying. And a man in black comes to measure a coffin.
Oh, what shall we do? My lips are sore with praying, and my knees are weary of kneeling.
And I've lost my whistle from worrying. It's the very devil, I say. The very devil. Now, where the devil's that devil of mine?
I'm here, Your Excellency.
Where have you sprung from?
Not so much sprung as hopped, sir. You have my foot.
Cure my son, and you can have it back.
This is my good wife, by the way, and this is my devil.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Yes, I saw your son was ill. Let me have a look at him. Look in here, Your Excellency.
I see a small creature.
That's Death, Excellency. Where does he stand?
At my son's feet.
Ah, good. He will recover. It's when he comes to the head you must worry. Now, sprinkle some of the water from the glass on your child.
You're a marvel.
Well, we do our best. Could I have my foot back then?
Most certainly.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Will there be anything else, sir?
Give me that glass, and I'll release you from your promise.
Really? Oh, thank you. Quite nice black flowers.
And so the soldier set up in his new trade as miracle man and travelled the world on a camel with his magic glass. Show him a sick man and he would hold up the glass. If Death sat at the foot of the bed, a quick splish-splash and up the invalid would sit pouring out blessings. If Death stood staring at the other end, the soldier would shake his head solemnly and depart, and the relatives would mutter, what a pity, he came too late, and pay him all the same. But as often as not, he left with all happy and amazed and praising him. And it went well for the soldier until one day, far from anywhere, he gets a message from home to say the old Tsar's fallen ill and sends for him.
I've come too late.
You save beggars and thieves and cats and dogs, yet you won't save your master.
If Death needs a new friend, I cannot fight him.
Then let me go in his place.
No. The Tsar has been my friend and father. If anyone should go, it should be me. Sir, take me and spare the Tsar. I beg you.
Praise be! Praise be! Praise be!
Oh, husband, is it all up with you?
Do you know what this is?
A sack.
Well, if this This is a sack. Then get in it.
I caught death in my sack! Why? You see? I caught death in my sack! What about that?
Good aim. Death a prisoner. The news whispered from one of the Tsar's 50 wives to the other spread through the town as fast as gossip, which is what it was, and nothing spreads faster. And within 4.5 minutes, the whole town knew. And within 17 minutes, the whole country knew. And by the following morning, it was the talking point of 1,000 languages. Death a prisoner. Muerte un prisionero. Tod ein Gefangener. Smiert us Nietzsche. I forgot the Greek.
Ec meritissime tontanito.
Exactly. And the soldier, to be on the safe side, set off with Death in his sack and found the thickest forest and the highest tree and clambered up it and hung Death from the longest branch and promptly fell off. But there's nothing like death off duty to cushion a fall.
So nothing died?
Nothing. The oddest battles. There were wars going on in most places, and they were very strange. At the end of a day's carnage, flashing swords and explosions, the air thick with arrows and savage swoosh of axes, nobody had died. The armies would look at each other exhausted and intact. Duels at dawn went on till midnight, when the rivals would go home confused. Crossed lovers would throw themselves off cliffs and have a long climb back. And my friend the soldier was the most famous man in the world because suddenly everyone could live forever. He sat in his palace and whistled his ruby whistle. And then one day, looking down from his window, he sees his courtyard full of poor souls wandering. Old scrags of folk barely held together. They were waiting for death, for death's release, and it would not come. And the soldier could not bear their sorrow. Back he went to the forest.
Death? I've led you a merry dance, but now you must have me and set the world to rights.
Death! Come back!
But Death had fear of the soldier and his sack and would not come back. He was condemned to watch while others aged and died, but Death would not come for him. No, the soldier, old kipper, dried beef, lived on and on and on until he could stand it no longer and dragged his dust and fragments across to the edge of the earth and slowly down to hell.
Yes,
A sinful soul comes to surrender his life.
yes. What's that you're carrying?
Nothing. An old sack.
A sack! Ah!
Let me in! I beg you!
Go away! Go on! And take that horrible sack with you!
But where can I go?
We don't care! Just dig it off!
I won't go unless you give me a map to heaven and a way in. And 200 souls you've no further use for.
150!
Do you know what this is?
Don't wave that sack around. All right, 200. Yuck. Follow the map until you can go no further. Then go directly up until you get the sensation of standing on your head. That's the edge of heaven. After that, follow the church music.
Who approaches the gates of heaven?
I am the soldier who took Death prisoner.
and I have brought 200 souls from hell in the hope that God will forgive me and let me in with them.
The souls may enter, but alone.
Go then, and be blessed. Take this, friend, and once inside, call me into the sack. Remember, I delivered you from the furnace.
But you see, there is no memory in heaven. Souls forget. The soldier waited and waited an inch from paradise, until after a long time, forgotten, he turned and walked slowly back to Earth. And for all I know, he wanders still.
So sad.
Oh, he's a rare boy, my friend the soldier. He's somewhere about his business.
You sure?
Come on. You can have your biscuit.
Do you know what this is?
A sack.
Well, if it's a sack, then get in it. Just checking. Huh?